Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday. So the other day we did a video about two customers' cars were basically junk. One was a Ford Escape at 60,000 miles, and another one was a 2021 GMC Acadia with 84,000 miles on it. So let me just show you this. 2021 GMC Acadia, 84,000 miles on it. This is the customer who said that this vehicle has been maintained and serviced by the dealership, which is FC Kerbeck. Now, I do work for FC Kerbeck, and the reason why they sent the customer here was to get the bracket on the rear converter repaired and two flex pipes, and also the resonator is rattling inside. So she's out of warranty. Now, we don't know this customer. We just, this is typically how my relationships start with people is they've been elsewhere. They're following the wrong maintenance schedules. The technicians aren't recommending the right maintenance that's needed sooner than later. And then basically at 100,000 miles, their cars are complete piles of shit and ready for the junkyard. So I have a couple examples. The Ford Escape, you're not going to help that customer. He doesn't fix anything until he can't drive it, and that's when he'll start fixing things. The lady from FC Kerbeck, the 2021 Acadia, she is all about keeping her car and maintaining it. That's why she was going to the dealership. So on her way here at 84,000 miles, the engine light comes on, and she tells us why she's here. So I bring the car in. I confirm what the dealership is saying. And then I'm like, she's got a cat efficiency code. No exhaust leaks near the catalytic converter. The flex pipes aren't near the catalytic converter, and nor is the oxygen sensor. So at this point, I'm like, this car's not maintained. How do I know? Well, if I was going to say that every car that I look like, the cabin air filter is shot, especially if it came from the dealership, it's shot. So I scan the code. It's got a catalytic converter code. We tell her that the car is due for maintenance. She says the vehicle's been maintained at the dealership. And I said, no, it's not. I pulled the engine oil dipstick out. She's at 5,000 miles and also due for an oil change, and there's zero oil on the dipstick. So at this point, she's like, hold up on doing anything. I want to take this back to the dealer and see what they have to say. So the dealer wants her to fix the flex pipes with us, thinking that it's getting a false catalytic converter code, which it is not. And then we made an estimate for her car that says FC Kerbeck says blah, 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 blah. And here's what we advise. Direct fit converter, air filter, cabin air, GDI service, fuel injection service, throttle body, a tune-up early because she has a cat efficiency code, change the oil, get a baseline on the oil consumption, replace the flex pipes, blah, 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 blah. So this is our work order, 5/24. When is this lady's work order? Is there even a date on this? Oh, May 28th. So the same day. It went into their service department, and nothing documented about the oil consumption. But then they finally give her a list of maintenance, and they sent her a video. So now here's all the maintenance work they want to do to her car because Meineke says it's due for maintenance, and it's way overdue for maintenance. This doesn't include tranny flush, dip services, rear wiper blade, brake fluid flush, cabin filter, injector clean, throttle body clean, replace the battery, which I never even got to, but and there's still tons of maintenance missing. There's no GDI recommendation on here. So the customer brings me this paperwork, and she said, how ironic, after I show them your work order for needed repairs plus required maintenance, that now they're hitting me finally with needed repair, needed maintenance.
I said, they don't even have a GDI service on here. They just have a fuel injection. You have a GDI engine? She goes, I know. I've done some research, and I know that this car requires a GDI service. And I said, good for you. I said, here's our biggest problem. Your car has near 100,000 miles on it, and if we don't get to the bottom of the oil consumption, this car's basically junk. You're going to need a new engine or a short block. And shortly after this, you're going to need a timing chain because the engine's been ran on oil slow so many times. She goes, I've actually been following this on my OnStar because it's been warning me of this, and then I take it in for an oil change. I said, well, once you run your engine low on oil, you're creating damage. And this is what the customer has not digested. Customers in general. So we feel that the dealer is going to stand behind the catalytic converter, or converters, both of them, which is the resonator converter assembly and the one catalytic converter, we think. But what we don't know is, are they going to stand behind the excessive oil consumption? So this is where she's got them by the throat now, because I've been coming to you to maintain my car, and I should not have all these problems at 84,000 miles. I come to you for all my maintenance. And she's correct. I come to you for all my maintenance. Why am I having mechanical failure? Because the dealerships are not advising early maintenance. And why wouldn't you? It's cash money to you. Hey, Mr. Customer, I know it says 10,000 miles. My experience with this vehicle and all these vehicles is these engines can't do it. You need to be here every 3,000 miles. Pretty simple. And at 3,000 miles, chances are you're not going to run your engine that low on oil unless there's a major problem, so we can catch it before it causes catastrophic failure or internal engine problems. So we're going to catch her up on maintenance. We're not going to do the spark plugs right now, even though it is my opinion they are overdue. But we're going to try and get through what the dealership is going to extend to her, out of warranty. But you know, her bitch is, I've been coming to you for service on my 2021 since brand new. It's only a few years old, and she drives it a lot, and she's there a lot for her 5,000 mile oil changes. Why am I having so many internal engine problems already? Because they're not recommending the right maintenance to the customer when it's there. Now, after all this time, that Meineke says, hey, your car is due for needed maintenance. Now that the dealership hit her with, you need maintenance, except for the GDI, which is so important, missing on the dealer invoice. So the dealer's not God all the time. They are in certain cases when we don't know what a problem is, and they have a flash update or a software update or something like that, or the secret parts that no one can get a hold of, the unobtainium stuff that aftermarket can't get their hands on. So this is a prime example. The dealership mechanics and technicians, some of them don't care. I'm sure they have a handful that do, but why wouldn't you advise early maintenance? It's money in your pocket, and the customer's going to have a product that they're happy with that's 3 years old with 100,000 miles on it. So here, we're going to shift gears. Ready? I haven't been maintaining this Honda since brand new. It's here because they think the power steering's making noise. And it has 100,000 miles on it, and cold start timing chain's rattling. I back it up, the engine's clacking. So the timing chain stopped, and then the engine's clacking. So then I pull forward, the engine stops clacking. That's oil slosh. Bring it in the shop, pull the oil stick. There's no oil on the stick. Another prime example of following Honda's oil change intervals, and then the customer pushing the oil change intervals has now got them into a predicament with their 100,000 mile Honda that should see 300,000 miles, absolutely no problem. My sticker was overdue. I wrote it for 3,000 miles, they're 4,000 miles. 1,000 miles less means there would be more oil in the car, potentially an extra quart of oil, and the engine would not be rattling. So, you know, what I say, and in Ford Boss means the same thing. I just watched a video with him about a Jiffy Lube doing a trans service and completely pumping like 3 quarts extra transmission fluid in a transmission. Dumbasses. And the customer said, well, I wasn't real confident that they did the job right. Goddamn right they didn't do the job right. And he proved it. So he's talking about oil changes, and he says, no more than 5,000 miles and less than 5,000 miles. I don't care what oil you run. We have the experience. We have the knowledge. We know what's going on in the shop. We want you to have a car that runs forever. It makes sense for you to have your older car or your newer car last forever because you're not making payments for the rest of your life. You're not buying another piece of equipment that they lied to you about maintenance intervals so that within 3 years, just like this GMC Acadia, this car basically needs a new engine and catalytic converters already at 85,000 miles. That's what that is. And now the Honda basically needs a timing chain and a short block. Now I don't know if I can nurse it along with the timing chain rattle, or we're going to try and switch these customers to the clean and protect from Valvoline. But I just wanted to prove to one of the YouTubers out here too that a 21 GMC Acadia, because I don't know what planet he's from, has 85,000 miles on it already. Thanks for watching.